Peace community. Welcome to Esoteric Sessions. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Gratitude for each of you tuning in and joining me on this esoteric journey. Today is Sunday, or shall I say, the Sun's Day, December 7th, 2025. And I am back with another cosmic session that will align with today's energy. And I am smiling at this moment because I just looked at the clock and it is 3:33 a.m. And yes, I am up quite early during divine timing, of course. And I just felt guided to come on air and do another esoteric session. And let me continue with my introduction. Before I begin, I would love to give a few reminders when tapping into these sessions. Please keep in mind to only take what resonates and leave the rest behind. These sessions are timeless, so keep in mind that sessions can be reflective of past, present, or future timelines. Energy is fluid and change is constant, not permanent. So free will is always an option. Lastly, remember that these sessions consist of sacred, ancient practices that are to be used as guidance tools and utilized for the highest good of intention. With that being said, let's go ahead and begin today's esoteric session. Now that I have my introduction out of the way, I do want to say for those of you tuning in, I hope that everyone is doing well. I intend to add that in my introduction in my sessions, and I don't think I did it in the last one. And if I didn't, please forgive me. I hope that everyone is doing well whenever you are receiving this reading. Now, for this session as well, I have already pre-shuffled and meditated over the energy that I have before me. And I would also like to take the time to mention that not only have I asked for guidance and protection for myself, but for those of you who will be tuning in as well. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into the things that came to me before I began reading and even meditating. And I'll actually start with my meditation. So, when I was in meditation and I sat, like I said, before these very cards that I have before me, and this is what came through specifically: clay, pottery, sculpting, architecture, using hands again, and black gloves while creating artifacts. And I actually took this a step further and I felt guided to look up the definition of artifacts. So let me read that to you all because I just feel like it'll be of importance. So, an artifact is an object made or modified by a human being, typically one of cultural or historical interest. And when I looked at the little, example for the definition, it goes to the extent of the artifacts include pottery, bones, metals, beads, and stone tools. So I don't know if that'll be of significance to anyone who's tapping into this session, but it gave me confirmation regarding the visions that I had in my mini meditation. The overall theme of today's esoteric session will be influenced by the full moon in Gemini. And I know that we are now like 24 hours after the full moon, almost actually, because when I was looking at my phone, like on my background, I can see the phases of the moon specifically, along with the time frames as well. And if I'm not mistaken, the full moon lasted until about 7:17 a.m. And I know we haven't met a full 24 hours just yet, but the energy specifically of the full moon can last anywhere from, 3 to 7 days to my recollection and knowledge. So I feel like I was, pretty much guided, and, I'm still going to utilize this energy. So the theme of this reading will be the things that want to be revealed during this full moon in Gemini. And I want to be honest to you all, collective. I've been doing a couple of sessions. This will now be the third session that I've done in alignment and in consistency with, the goal that I've set for myself throughout this Sagittarius season. My goal is to go the distance, and like I've stated, I've done a couple of sessions already, and the energy is quite fluid. And I'm also getting confirmation in this moment. If you felt guided to even tap in, or you've had resonance with the previous messages, I pulled out some oracles that really provide a sense of guidance, or just, confirmation to go along with the entirety of the session. And there were two oracles that came out that mentioned the fluidness of energy that I'm tapping into in these very moments. And I just feel like not even just that with myself and the consistency or the consistency that I'm in, but just the fluidity in these sessions. The energy that keeps coming to the surface is fluid. I keep feeling like I'm picking up on masculine dominant energies. And for this theme, I am once again tapping into a dominant masculine, and I'll explain for a multitude of reasons. I did write some things down, especially the things that I shared with you all regarding the visions and my meditation. But I'm going to further move along and begin reading this energy that came through under this full moon in Gemini session. So the overall energy that I was tapping into was the energy of a masculine who is in an energy of having security and stability, especially when it comes to the 3D reality. This is someone who really, I would say, has their ducks in a row, especially when it comes to their financials. And in no way, shape, or form is this saying that they have it all figured out or they are the richest and most wealthiest. I just see someone who is secure and independent, or secure in their independence, I shall say that. And this is all stemming from something that could have been, a bit of an upheaval in their lives. There's a lot of major themes that's happening within this masculine's reality. And that is the same fluid energy that I've been picking up on throughout these sessions. But what I'm seeing is that there's someone here in this session that in this very moment, they're feeling that something was fated, something was destined to happen, especially regarding the major themes that they're experiencing. And it's giving this person, or it's giving this individual, this sense of strength and courage and confidence. They could feel as though they're being guided, And I'm going to speak to the individual so that there's no confusion in this reading. Okay, so if you are the masculine dominant energy, this is for you. And I also want you all to be mindful and discerning of the fact that we all carry both masculine and feminine energies. And it just simply means for masculinity, the ability to take action. And for feminine energy, it's just the ability to be in tune with one's nurturing abilities, our feelings, and not saying alone feelings, because masculinity comes with feelings as well. And, I just wanted to put that out there, but I do want to clarify and I do want to put this out there. I feel that this is a masculine dominant energy, someone who embodies the features and just abilities as a full blown masculine energy. So let me go ahead and continue. I'm going to speak directly to the masculine individual. At this very moment in time, you feel very secure and very stable within your current situation. And even if you aren't in this very moment, I feel like it's something that you've been working towards for sure. And you've had a bit of an epiphany, a bit of an upheaval in your life. You could probably say that for a multitude of things, especially regarding like your foundation, where you started or where you've been working. Something has blown up, and this doesn't have to be in um a negative aspect, but something here has rocked your sense of a foundation. Like you are no longer in this space where you're being complacent. I feel guided to say that. But I feel like you feel like whatever has happened was destined, it was fated, and you've now gained this sense of strength, confidence, and just overall confidence. If I haven't said that already, not to sound redundant, but I see here that you're being guided, and even guided by the highest. And I say that because the first card that came out was the strength card. The second card was the wheel of fortune, following the nine of pentacles energy. And for me, intuitively, like I said, I feel like in this moment, you feel like things were fated and destined to go in this way that they are going. And, the upheaval came from the Tower card in itself. Like I said, this could be major themes for you as well. And this could have a lot to do with a connection between you and another individual, a connection that you feel that was fated, that was destined, that felt truly magnetic. And I say that because we have the lovers in the highest potential position. And only take it if it resonates. This could talk about a connection that you could be experiencing upheaval with as well. But it looks like in the near future, you are going to be in this energy of learning and even being a student, and in this energy of wanting to offer something tangible, something in the physical. You could be wanting to even send a message. I say that because we have the page of pentacles in the near future position, and it can talk about a multitude of things. And for me, what I was intuitively getting is that you're gaining this strength, this confidence, and you feel guided to send this message, to send this offering at this time. Now, you may have a bit of a fear and concern around strategizing or even planning what you're getting ready to start doing. And I also got intuitively that for some of you, you could fear that maybe you've waited, you've planned for too long, you're still awaiting for things to come in this very moment, and only take it if it resonates and leave it if it doesn't. But In this current moment, you're being seen as um possibly being a bit stagnant in your situation or this situation in general, but it's due to you seeing things from a higher level, a higher perspective. You are going through possibly an awakening, and once again, only take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. But I see you in a period of thinking about things from a higher perspective. And in the hopes and wishes in this specific situation, we have the Three of Pentacles. I really feel like you could want to collaborate with an individual, and specifically the individual which you had, or whom with you had the special connection with, the lovers in essence. You could be wanting to come together to collaborate, to really come from a space of, like, let's become a team, let's do this together, a journey. Now, with the outcome of this very energy and what you are gaining the strength and courage and confidence around, um, I see that you're really wanting to have forgiveness and also a second chance. Judgment has been coming up in my sessions. So, this is another energy that is reflecting the fluidity that I spoke about briefly. But, overall, within this energy, I see you wanting to overcome a lot of major themes that you're going through. You're learning to have the strength, have the courage, and even not to say you weren't confident, but maybe in certain areas where you weren't so confident, maybe it could have been involving this upheaval that you're experiencing, right? When it comes to your foundation and your stability and your security, I see that you are really diligently working through all of the energies coming up for you. So if that does have, any resonance with you and your current situation, like I said, some of my sessions may not resonate whatsoever. It may only resonate with one person or three individuals, if any. I'm just, moving on that intuitive nudge, and, really honoring that guidance when I'm being guided to come on and start reading for the collective. But once again, if this is where we depart in the end, I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a complete stop, but I'm going to also do an extended. So if you feel guided, you can come on over and join me there, and I'll dig deeper into, the strength card, the judgment card, and so on and so forth. And I'll also close it out with an oracle to provide further guidance for those of you who may seek it. So, once again, thank you all for joining me on Esoteric Sessions. Peace.